I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Good morning. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. Love, are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. Love, I am ready.
Joy,
I am ready. Peace, I am ready. I am ready to receive.
these are the
Gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. Gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit I am ready to receive. Love, I am ready. Joy, I am ready. Peace, I am ready. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive.
Yay. Yay. Miss Ireland, thank you. And our spiffy music director over here. Yeah, you're looking quite great this morning. Yeah, it's a special day. It's a very special day. It is. Our friends are here from France. Judy and Ann and Logan are here. Just have goosebumps and goosebumps and goosebumps and some tears in here. So happy to see you. So happy to see you. And other friends here we haven't seen for a long time. Love you, bless you, so happy to see you. Yay. Huh? Say it again. It is our European contingent. That's us, Unity Skagit Valley. We're a global work. Yeah, wherever you go, you might find one from all over. That's pretty great. I drove by the Catholic Church this morning. Good morning, everyone. Their parking lots were filled, up and down the streets were filled. I thought, what are the Catholics doing that we don't know? I thought it was kind of over the hill with that Catholic thing. They are praying for us, and we will accept every prayer, I tell you, for sure. So bless them in their work. People were doing a little short stop for a little communion and a little bit of fellowship and on their way, and that's what we're here for. A little bit of communion of the mind and the heart and the body and the being. a little bit of communion in what we would call friendship, fellowship, a little bit of communion in our openness to receive and drink in the Spirit and the blessings of Spirit. So we welcome you from far, far away, and from far, far away down the street, and far, far away in Anacortes. And we welcome you in that warm and loving spirit of unity, as we say. The warm and loving spirit of unity. That something that is present with us, no matter where we go, no matter how distant we are, that warm and welcome spirit of unity, that loving spirit of unity is present wherever we are. When we come together, we have the opportunity to let that overflow in our relationship with others. In our daily life, we carry it wherever we go, that warm and loving spirit of unity. We know that it is present no matter where we are or what time it is or where we've been or what's going on in our lives. We have that presence, that truth, the gift of that presence and truth here in the midst of us that we carry with us wherever we go. That's the outreach of unity. The outreach of unity isn't just programs we create. The outreach of unity is individuals who are reaching out in spirit to all others wherever they may find themselves. And to you, we're reaching out to you, and we're so glad you're here with us this morning. Thank you for sharing, and put your name in the chat line so that we know you're here, because we love to look and see who showed up. So maybe you're going to show up during the week. Maybe you're going to show up one morning in your car, but don't do that. Do not watch our broadcasts when you're in your car. It's not, while driving, no, not good, not good. But wherever you might be, we embrace you in so many different ways. So we had a party last night. We had a little party. And Louise thinks there were about 20 of us from Unity Skagit there. It felt like more. And then we had a contingent from Bellevue, and then we had some people from Linwood, the minister from Bellingham. Frank and his wife, Diane, were there. It was just, I don't know what to say about it, because it was happening to me. You know how many times you say overwhelmed and beyond measure when it comes to love and gratitude. So thank you for being there. And last people there last night who were cleaning up were Reverend Richard and Matthew, cleaning up after us. They produced it. They did it with Nina. The three of them did it as a team, and generated that the food arrived from all different directions, and they personally made that happen, and then invited some of their congregants to host us and be present to do some other things that needed to be done. Yeah, it was quite a celebration, and I'm really, really grateful. I feel as though I've had enough celebration for a while. I think I'll just kind of quiet down and celebrate cleaning the cat box and getting back to normal life with my feet on the ground again. One of the great and most powerful things that happened last night was the rabbi's blessing for me, which I thought was going to levitate me right out of the room. The power of those words done from his tradition, and the impact of that transmission of energy. It was just, this gives me goosebumps. Yeah, it was really something indescribable and beautiful. I asked Richard if we could get a copy of that, a video of that, so that we could show it, not just for me, but for everyone should receive that blessing. So, hey, Chris, how are things on the road to Oak Harbor this morning?
Oh, they were fine, but yesterday I couldn't get off the island.
So today is good.
I was going to come, but grandbabies and 2-hour ferry lines.
Oh, yeah, no. It's good that you're here this morning.
Yeah.
You share our daily word.
I am.
Tell me what the word is.
Trust.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And
Come.
we don't have the large print.
I don't know what happened to large print. It was here and now it's gone.
Okay, well,
There you go. Things come, they go. We accept.
it's always a surprise.
I know, every day.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Exciting to be here and see all these not very many empty seats.
No, I know.
Woohoo!
We're in competition with Catholics this morning. I love
Yeah,
that.
but the problem is we don't have the guilt.
No, we didn't bring any guilt with us, no.
However, we do have trust. I place my trust in God. Few things are a greater comfort than a deep and abiding trust in God. When I trust, I move more confidently through life. I feel the wind at my back, and I'm made strong in the face of adversity. In the past, may have felt disappointed when I misplaced my trust. The things of the world are impermanent. Even people come and go. The truth of God as the one presence and power in the universe, and as my life is everlasting, unchanging, and unchangeable through all the seasons of life. Even as I grow, evolve, and deepen in spiritual understanding, God is always my source, the inspiration I return to again and again. My freedom to seek and discover lies in the awareness that I can always trust in God. And they have a little phrase from Isaiah 26:4. Trust in the Lord forever, for in the Lord God you have an everlasting rock. Well, I also looked up, I have the Inclusivity Bible, which I really like because it's not all he, him. And it says, trust in Yahweh forever. For you, Yahweh, are an eternal rock.
Nice.
Doesn't that sound yummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An
Or
eternal-
I trust in you forever.
Yeah.
So-
Wonderful.
And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I'm back. I didn't go very far. Announcements. We have some. We have quite a few, actually. Thank you for being masked this morning. We're doing that in your best interest and ours. I appreciate your willingness to do that. My mask is there. I can't wear it when I've got my microphone on, so there you go. Or we haven't figured out how to do that yet. Be an interesting challenge. Yeah, soon. I'll put it back on. The other thing that we then reported in our email blast was no potluck at the end of the month because we're not going to play with food together, but we will open that up again as soon as we can. Children's program officially opens next Sunday. Yay! Dedication of the children's room to Mike Gow. The blessing will be of the room, and in his honor, his love for the kids, for the youth program, lives on. And though we don't have Mike here every Sunday or during the week, baking cookies, having coffee, Mike had a way of just kind of infiltrating the whole space. This was his place, and that we would dedicate that room, and that would be suggested and recommended. What a wonderful gift and tribute for him. So that's next Sunday morning. Narian and Janet are coming for a concert on August 17th at 7 o'clock. We'll give you more details later, but it is confirmed. And I'm thinking that it was the air conditioning that was the selling point. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to come back unless we had.
Yeah, well, and we have accommodated that. We, if you haven't been here for a while, we have a whole new heating, air conditioning, filtration system, thanks to the generosity of special donors who really saw and believed in the need that our building be brought to a standard that really is for safety, well-being, health. And we can open that door, but it doesn't quite do the same work as a circulating, wonderful filtration system here. So again, we thank our donors, and we give thanks for our new system. It works, it really works. Another neighborhood cleanup day. So we are partnering as part of our vision with the neighborhood, with our community here in the neighborhood, and have been doing community projects together. So there's another neighborhood cleanup tomorrow from 2 to 5. Tomorrow being Monday, yeah, from 2 to 5. Bark spreading, as in bark, yeah, that. So if you would like to participate, be here and be part of spiffing up our neighborhood and bringing consciousness back into the neighborhood that reflects who we are on the inside, outside. So we want that to be so for all of the businesses in our area. We have great support from the police department. We've been included in a variety of opportunities to speak with them, to have them be present for us, to expand their services. If you see something or are aware of something, call 911 and let them know that you're seeing something that either violates our trespass agreements or is somehow not what we're offering our facility for. Whatever that purpose is, it's not about drug use on the front porch. And we've gotten really clear about that and what our responsibility is, both to our congregation, to our ministry, and to our neighborhood, to our community as a whole. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say I'm delighted that there's also responsibility for the people who are living on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And the police department has hired a social worker.
Yeah. Yeah, and doing more and more work and being more and more engaged in so many ways. So we made a decision. We were going to bring more light to the community. It was our vision, our neighborhood, and it's happening and it's going on despite us. It's happening anyway. We had the vision. We set it in motion, and lo and behold, now it's carrying its own vision, which is a wonderful thing. All right, that's it for announcements. Book sale in September. If you have books you want to give away or have sold in a collective bookstore sale, We're going to be a bookstore on the street.
Hold on to them till the September.
Yeah, don't bring them. No. No. Yes, ma'am? It's a book and bake sale. Yes, there you go. Yes, ma'am?
May I add a warning that was in the paper on Friday?
Yeah.
There's a noxious weed that's growing in the valley, and it's hemlock. And it looks very much like Queen Anne's lace. Look it up because you need to know how to handle it if you have it in your yard. You don't want it there, you have to wear gloves. And it's very important that it be eradicated.
Sounds like a British mystery to me. Ooh, infiltrated by hemlock. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but take it seriously. If Louise said it, she means it. Valerie, you had something?
No, I was just wondering, I was just thanking you guys for bringing up the larger picture of how we responded to the neighborhood and
Yeah.
how neighbors in need.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it isn't that we don't care. We had an incident on, I don't remember which day it was this week, when someone came in and was very belligerent, and it was an unworkable situation and got handled quickly. And we know what we need to do for support, but we know what we do not need to do, simply to rescue people from their infirmity. We cannot do that. But we can support that it happens. And the way people can best be helped is if we take the right action and set things in motion. And we're very clear on that now. And Jerry doesn't get to have visitors when we're not here who beg money off him week after week. Yeah, okay. Just making that clear. So again, Ireland, we're just so grateful for your presence. Can't even tell you. Yeah, yeah. You are a clear manifestation of a long-held prayerful intention. Like totally. And Ward, always, thank you. How about we pray? What are we leading in with? Do we have something? Oh. Which one? I'm healed? Good. Drink it in, folks.
God and I are one. God and I are one. God is love, then I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me now, and I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is life, then I must be living. I let the life of God flow through me now, and I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is peace, then I must be peaceful. I let the peace of God flow through me now, and I am healed.
God and I are one. Just the words create a little sense of separation. There is only one, and I am the living expression of the one. You are the living expression of the one. All of life, in all its manifest form, is one. We understand in this moment that as we pray, it's not a secret. It's not a hidden moment without meaning or power. It's a revolutionary act. To pray and know and behold the truth is an act of pure power, and your ever deepening realization of that oneness, that power present in and through and as all, is an act of transformation and change. And so when we say, I will take a deep breath, let go and go unto my Father, Mother within, we're seeing that there is no separation. It's just the movement of our mind that allows us to open and connect and trust. As you breathe, allow your body to be held. Allow your mind to come to peace. Feel yourself to be emanating light and peace, emanating it like you are lit from within. For you truly are. You are emanating light and peace. You are emanating clarity and order through the very cells and atoms of your being. You are emanating a light force that contains all guidance and clarity. A life force that knows no limit. I am an emanation. I am an outpouring. I am the very living forth of the presence of oneness, living as me. With your breath, allow yourself to feel that sense of the presence moving within you. flowing in sacred stillness and infinite power. I feel into the presence, bringing my mind and my heart together in union. And I offer prayers then for the world in which we live, our planetary home. Four-leggeds and swimmers and flyers. I offer blessings to family and friends, near and far. Those who have been raised from this live expression. We offer our blessing. For those in need of healing and the realization of that life-giving presence that is infinitely present as the wholeness of us all, we offer prayers of love and strength. For those in duress who do not know or cannot sense the light, for you we hold the light in prayer, knowing the power of the one at work within you. In so many ways, prayer is called for, and with a simple realization, I trust in the presence of God in the midst of every need, in the midst of everyone, in the midst of everything. I trust the higher good of all, in all and through all. Our great work is done, and Spirit takes care of the rest. And so we pray, giving thanks for that one. In and through it all, the one endures as the limitless reality and truth. I know it, I hold to it, I stand in that awareness, and so it is. Amen.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. I am kinder every moment, every day. I'm more loving every moment, every day.
How fortunate are we? Thank you, Catherine, for making the connection for us. Spirit moved through you, and you just really, you really bless us, like, and it makes him light up. He gets really happy. And that's good news, too. If you have prayer requests, please put a request in the prayer box if you're in the room. If not, visit us at info@unitysv.org, and our prayer team delights in the opportunity to pray with you. Then the prayers go on to Silent Unity, where they're prayed with for another 30 days. So ask for prayer. Nothing, it could be the lost key, but it's an important key for you. Or it could be something major that you're asking prayer for. And know that you can always go Silent Unity Direct. I don't have it in front of me, 1-8... That's it, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. There you go. Somebody's right there waiting. How can I pray with you today? It's a great comfort. And it causes us to be humble of heart, to reach out and actually ask for assistance and support. So please take advantage of that. Story is told about Nasruddin, the holy fool, they called him, but he wasn't a fool. He was just always up to something. Nasruddin went into a bank that he didn't usually use and asked to withdraw a large sum of money from his account. The bank clerk was naturally suspicious, having never met him or seen him before, and asked him politely, "Do you have any means of identifying yourself?" He reached down into the pocket of his long cloak and found a very ornate mirror. He held it up and looked studiously into it and said to the clerk, "Yes, that's me, all right." I've used that any number of times to open something, because it's like, okay, we don't have to have a mirror in our pocket. Yes, it's me, all right. Not in the ways we assign ourselves so frequently, but in reality, yes, that's me. Yes, that's me. I am the higher aspiration that I look to. I am. If when I looked in the mirror, I could bypass my judgments or the obsessiveness of my mental activity and could see with the eyes that are seeing me, I would see this sense of, yes, it's me. Yes, it's me. We're always calling on these higher degrees of learning and transformation and whatever our ideas are about who we would be if we were in our higher self or functioning from our higher nature or whatever, as though there's a distance between here and there, as though the reality of that is not present where we are in this moment in time, not because we aspire to it, not because we practice toward it, but because the reality is always the same reality. The aspect that does not change is the divine truth, the living forth of that divine truth is the reality that is the totality of our being. The rest of it is what we make up. The totality of our being is what's ongoing and constantly presencing. The rest of it, and I'll say it as many times as you want me to, is, or don't want me to, is what we make up. It's passing. It's the world of what we cast through our beliefs, through our perceptions, through what we see, think, and ideate. That's true about life, ours, and the life of others, about all things. We've ideated and created thought forms and all the things that go with it to support our current belief structure. But when I say current belief structure, I mean even that's always changing. Today I'm strong, tomorrow I'm not. But the constancy of what is so is core and unchanging in the midst of me. Our divine nature is not transformed. I'm sorry to tell you this news. Our divine nature is not transformed. It's not changed. It's not uplifted. It's not downtrodden. It's not here today, gone tomorrow. Our divine nature is constant. It doesn't alter on the basis of what we mentally shift our mind or perception to include and incorporate. Our divine nature doesn't change when we have a higher thought. The same divine nature is present in and through as the creative process of the universe itself in an ever unfolding, creative, evolutionary movement. And when I move to higher thought, it's not because my divine nature changed or because I became more than I was before. I've simply entertained a higher level of thought in that moment in time. I've reached another level of awareness and understanding of what was already always so. So we're always looking at transforming self and doing that which will make us more of that which we are or are seeking. And what we're about is actually distancing us from the very thing that we want most. In the activity of seeking, what we're saying is it's out there somewhere. And I need to keep moving to get there fast enough so that I don't die before I'm transformed. Which means we have to run really fast to catch ourselves. Because what would we catch that isn't already present, except a new way of seeing, perhaps? That statement that has always been a part of my spiritual process has been, I'm a seeker. I think it's better said these days, I'm an entertainer of different ideas. I'm an entertainer. I entertain them in consciousness. Different ideas, different ways of seeing. Whatever the belief structure is that's dearest to you. Whatever that is, the entertaining of ideas that nourish, juice us a little more, make us just a little more pliable to spirit. The process of that is entertaining thoughts and ideas and readings and words that other people share and teachings that great teachers have brought down through time. We entertain that. But it's only entertainment that keeps us often further away from the reality of what's already so, as though it were not true here and now, as though it were not possible here and now. As long as the mind is fixated on the process of being out there with our thinking, our resolution, our way of operating in the world, as long as we are focused in the direction of one problem after another, what do we harvest? Really, what good does it do us? And what do we harvest out of one problem after another here in this entertaining machine that's always entertaining another thought, another problem, another something. We don't, no, I can't say we. I don't trust that the universe knows how to do what it does. I mean, you just might as well be accountable and totally humble in the awareness that I do trust that which I believe is so. I do trust. And yet, when it really comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, trust is not always easy to come by. It's like that moment when we revert into believing that the problem is bigger than this 15 billion year old process in which I'm part, of which I'm one. So I picked up another book because, you know me, always something to entertain myself with. This morning I had 5 books on my computer. Like, okay, I'm going to find something meaningful here for myself and hopefully for someone else. And one of them is a book that I ordered in a few weeks ago from Unity called Living Originally by a Unity minister named Robert Brummett. And he's written quite a number of books now, and he said these ideas about transforming our life, our practices, and that they're very They're not simple practices, but they keep returning us to what's true. And last night, the last conversation I had with Richard on the way out the door had to do with the word transformation. And he said, because I had already said somewhere in what I was saying, I didn't really like the word transformation anymore, but I had just assigned 5 weeks of transforming your life here. And so I'm on my way out the door. I said, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? And he said he was going to talk about longing. And I thought, oh, I'm glad I'm not talking about longing. That takes you into the deep. Longing has, yeah, just think about it for a minute. I said, oh, I'm talking about transformation. He said, I don't use that word anymore. I said, well, I don't really like it either. He said, it's future distanced. So much of what we use as the common descriptors are future distanced, like hope in comparison to faith or trust, which are very here and now. Hope is future distanced. It's out there somewhere. Maybe I'll trip over it. Or maybe it will find me, whatever I'm hoping for, instead of present time. And he said transformation for him, and I count him as one of the great wisdom beings I've ever met. Dr. Richard really, he just said, I don't use the word anymore. And I said, well, it's going to take some training to get it out of me, because I revert to that word transformation a lot about the process we're going through. And he said, it's always a distant process. It's always, you're going to grow into your whatever. You're gonna grow into your awareness. You're going to rise into or be transformed into a new state of being. When he said, if you really look at it, the new state of being is present now. It's not future distant. It's now. Because we're always looking out there for when it will be better or different. So Brahma did these 10 transforming your life practices. So I looked at the book this morning that I intended to use, and I thought, I've been twisted. My brain is no longer able to entertain that in the way I was seeing it before, because somebody said something, because an idea penetrated and created a whole different value on something that's really common and constant. But the first of these ideas that Brahma writes about have to do, again, with self-awareness. Not self-awareness like, oh, it's about me again. I mean, don't you just get so tired of yourself? Maybe you don't. Am I confessing something I need to? I mean, don't you just get tired of what your mind does? Don't you just think, get over me? Let me, like highest prayer, let me be over me today. It's actually a really big deal for me. I have to pray that prayer about 100 times a day. Let me get out of the way. Let me get over my obsession or my addiction or my lockdown to a particular thought or whatever it is I'm chewing on. Because if I chew on it longer, it'll finally resolve itself. Because I dig it deeper, that hole is one of these days going to produce a treasure. Because if I can push myself harder to get on farther down the road, be a better this or a better that, we don't get anywhere doing that. We spin our wheels, I notice. But in the here and the now, when I become aware of myself being that way, I could barely get to that party yesterday. I was so anxious. I talked, so what did I say? Maybe 5,000 sermons and messages and services and, and today being 5,001. I probably had 10 of those when I wasn't so anxious. I was coming out of my skin and have had to develop a kind of awareness of self to be able to be that and be present and move through the experience at hand. I know, quote unquote, spiritual teachers should be over all of that by now. Not just 46 years in ministry, but almost 50 years of spiritual deep study. Standing, saying, I am anxious before I am present with you every Sunday of my life. It isn't that it isn't there. It is that I don't give it the power to determine whether I will or will not, whether I can or cannot. The belief behind it is I'll not be able to, or I can't, or whatever my inner conversations are, and you don't need to hear any more of them. But I have a constant litany. And I have made the choice to accept it, be present to it through my awareness, but at the same time to live parallel to that inwardly, that takes me deeper into what matters more to me. And what matters more to me is, even in the face of that, to remain conscious, to accept not just myself, but the circumstances at hand, and to be present in a way that is not consumed by that which is going on here, or in my shaking hands. Dr. Richard was looking at me last night, and I put my hand down on the desk. I was like, I'll be fine soon, just let's get on with it here. I am aware of what precipitates it. I am aware of the details about it. I am aware of the experience of it. I am aware of the costliness of it. I accept it because it is part of this mechanism called me. And I accept it because no matter what I've done, jumped out of airplanes and walked on fire and did all kinds of things, it didn't go away. What expanded was my ability to be present even in the face of this, and be at peace even as I'm watching my mind go nuts. Because it doesn't mean anything. It's what's going on in the head. And when we can learn to step back, we begin to make different decisions in the face of that experience. Because we're becoming inwardly more broad. Not that we haven't always been vast, beyond any thought we've ever had or could ever imagine. Vast, inwardly vast. But if I can only focus on that, and when I do that, what I mean is that constant disruption here at the mental level. The mental level is not who I am. I have a mental level. It makes up stories. It entertains itself by being terrified. What the heck? I'll force it out. I will destroy my ego and become more holy. I'll push my way through. No, it's in the acceptance that finally there is the ability to move more deeply inward into the place of peace. I love people who don't get ruffled. I love to be around Martha, for instance, who, just seems always to be Martha-ing in a way that doesn't get all twittered out about things. But I know Martha really well. I know she gets really twittered out about things. She just doesn't hold on to them. She doesn't define them as a reality. She does not define them as her reality. I think there's a reason I've sought out study with my friend Martha, because she's got a big enough space inwardly to get that sense of, yep, there it is, and sees it and releases and lets go to it and lets go, but does not make it her entirety. I think, isn't that what every spiritual teacher, every great wisdom being said? Be in the world, but not of it, meant the world of what? Your mind. Jesus didn't put it that way. Be in the world, but not of it. I am in the world, but not of it. He wasn't teaching about detachment. He wasn't teaching in the standard sense of, it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm a high holy guy. I don't care. It wasn't that. It was be in the world and not of it. Where would that have taken place in him except through his direct awareness and his knowing and his what? The one thing we all have in common: our spirit, our mind, and our ability to make choice. That's 3 things. So Brummett's writing this book, and he's writing about self-awareness, and he's saying, I am aware not only of a body called me, but I am also aware of a sense of an internal me, looking in the mirror at me as the body. I have an internal mirror that reflects the contents of my mind, just as the external mirror reflects the image of my body. It's very simply said. Radical self-awareness takes us another layer deeper. As I recognize my physical self in the mirror, and as I am aware of seeing that image, I can also at the same time be aware of my reaction to that. Well, the mind becomes so focused on the new wrinkle or the baggy eyes or the whatever you've got going on that you see in the mirror when you look. The mind becomes so fixated on that you lose all other thought for a while, and then you pack yourself up and carry yourself on into the day without having noticed that whole process was an observation of what you were entertaining yourself with in your mind in that moment. Nope. The whole day is downhill after you discover that new whatever it is you didn't want to see. But he's saying radical self-awareness takes me to another layer, a deeper layer, as I recognize my physical self in the mirror, and as I am aware of seeing that image, I can also be aware of my reaction to this awareness. Now we've got 2 layers of awareness. I may notice how much gray hair, new wrinkles. Is that really me? I'm aware of I'm aware of my response to my awareness. So, who am I now? 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 Am I the content of my mind? Or that something that I'm chewing on? I can be aware of that. There's great power in awareness. The thing that Jesus taught over and over and over again was the practice of awareness. Every parable, every healing incident, every story, every moment of that divine journey was about learning to refine awareness and not be owned by what the mind tells you is so and what is externalized through the projection of your mind into the experience of your life. He goes on, I see an image in the mirror. I recognize that image as me, and I have an emotional response to that judgment. Now I've got my emotions involved. Now I'm upset. I'm getting old. What's going to happen? How are we going to support ourselves? I don't know. I have a mental response about that image. I'm aware of all of this. So this is his statement that I pulled out that I thought was the most important thing. I am aware of all this, and I am aware that I am aware of all this. They called it double think or the double thread. I am aware from an inner witnessing of what I'm projecting onto the mirror, and now I am aware of my awareness of that. Michael Singer said so powerfully, if I would turn around that level of awareness to allow consciousness to be aware of consciousness within, to turn my attention, to allow my awareness to be present on the reality, or present to, or in relationship, accepting relationship with this divine awareness that's already present, not the one I'm going to have someday, the one I already have. Something starts to shift, and the center of power about what drives our moment-by-moment daily attention begins to shake a little. And we discover that we'd rather inner think than be outwardly consumed. Because whatever's outwardly consuming us, there's a replacement for that one tomorrow or in the next 5 minutes. So be really upset about something. And then just wait. 5 minutes later, there'll be something else to be really upset about. Because that's what it does. It creates, it generates, it entertains itself with the machinations of thought processes that we continue to regenerate by giving them the power, the overriding power about what's true. I am aware of all this, and I am aware that I am aware of this. Start to consider who's in there and begin to respond from a very, very enlightening place that isn't waiting for transformation and is not waiting for me to get better at what I do. The day we move into an ownership of this being the reality of such that I call myself, I'm like, well, it's always been here. That's what every teacher says. I work so hard to be conscious. Work so hard to get conscious and stay conscious. Truly, in the midst of this machination process, I work so hard to get and stay conscious. And then the great teacher says, and then it was already all there. And Jesus said, know ye not, know ye not, that ye are gods, not in training, but in reality of being. Can I have another minute? You have to run. Anybody have to go somewhere? A Moment Without Thought, from the book Calm Center, written by Steve Taylor. No, not written by, meditated and transcribed by Steve Taylor. A Moment Without Thought. Can you imagine? No. A moment without thought, and the background noise ceases, and I can suddenly hear the silence between sounds, the silence beneath sound, from which all sound and all sounds emerge, like waves from the sea. A moment without thought, and the fog disperses, and the world is filled with translucent light, new dimensions of detail, and sharpness, and color, and depth. A moment without thought, and these suburban streets are a pristine new world, like a garden glistening with dew, the morning after creation, as if a husk of familiarity has cracked and fallen away, leaving naked primal isness. A moment without thought, and I'm no longer standing separate, no longer an island, but part of the sea, and no longer a static center, but part of the flowing stream. A moment without thought, he said, and the train has stopped between stations, and there was never any motion and never any track. A moment like a wormhole, infinitely expanding, like stepping through a narrow gate to find an endless open plain, the panorama of the present. The panorama of the present. And this new world of no thought is neither alien nor unfamiliar, but a place where benevolence blows through the air and soft shimmering energy fills every space, and the sunlight is the translucent white light of spirit, and the deepest, closest, warmest place, the ground where I am rooted. This place, this expansiveness, this place, point of focus, ever shifting, ever changing, and ever wooed by the possibility of what's within. We're always being wooed away from the mind into what's present. How do we know we're being wooed? By how miserable it is when we dwell in being consumed by these ideas that only divide and harm us. And so his book is called Living Originally, Bob Brummett's book. But I find as I return to the untethered soul that it is one of my, again, all-time, forever favorite books. Michael Singer speaks these truths in ways and illustrates them in ways that I can hear them and see them, and they're really, really powerful. So our class on Tuesdays is his newest book called Living Untethered. We have had our first class, our first Zoom class, and if you would want to be part of that, I need to get the link to you for my Zoom, and then you're welcome to join. So know that Tuesdays, on Tuesday morning at 11, we're in class, and we're working, and we're exploring, and it's fertile, so join us if you wish. And all you need is the link. You can join anytime. And I'm happy to send it to you if you get word to me that you'd like to have it. So, having said all those things, The offering blessing plate is by the doors on your way out. We were going to start passing bags again to make it a little easier and more convenient, and decided to wait another week to do that. So the plate is there. It is to receive your offerings. We are grateful for everything we are blessed with. I see Richard over there getting his copy of the Daily Word. We have Daily Words for you for sale if you wish and need a replacement for the one you have. And we have a lot coming up. We have many things going on. Tomorrow, remember, neighborhood bark spreading. How fun is that if you've got a back for it? Or a desire to have fun with others. Play with others. Blessing for the offering. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. And so it is. If you wish to give, those of you who watch online, please, you can email your gift. You can pay on whatever our site is online, unitysv.org. And you can drive up and drop it through the mail slot. We have a lot of ways to give here, and we're grateful for everything we receive. Deep breath. Sermon 5001. Over and out. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Ward. Thank you, Chris, for being the person at the door greeting today. Thank you for your dedication to kitchen happenings and food. Thank you for the ways in which you support our present, our growing, and being part of this blessed community. It was such a joy last night to look out and see you there in Linwood, and know that you are my family. We had that party because you are my family. Blessing. Speak it with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Bless you all. Peace song.